There we go.
Oh!
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is H to the OV.
I think we should have it playing, you know. We gotta get up. We gotta get some music. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You know how it is. Jared Best Michelle.
Lyndon Braffett, sales
Sales is
as
as a
a
profession.
profession. What's
So
up?
let me just pop up here on the second screen. I'm excited for this live because I think since we started back, this is our first Q&A.
Yeah.
So that is excellent.
We have to. Okay, so I'm not getting any echoes, neither are you, right?
Yeah, I'm not hearing any echoes.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
You mean?
Right. I'm in the live. Hey, Sean, let me know any book is coming out. I want to get that book. I want to get that book. So, okay, great. So, good afternoon, everybody on LinkedIn, on YouTube, because we have the streaming on our YouTube page now as well. That's feedback or no?
I think it might be. I'm trying to see how I can fix that. So let me see if there's a volume thing.
Sean, let us know if you're hearing any echo or anything on our end.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. But your headphones are not in.
It's in, but as I say, the connector doesn't work properly.
Oh.
Just something else.
I have a connector. I had to bring that for you. You can't cut the volume?
I'll try and do that now. Go now.
Right, test. Our Wong Kang Photos 868. Good day, sir. Sean is in here in echo, so let's go. All right, so you're looking at the topic, right? I love this topic. It's our first Q&A. Lyndon, read it out. They're seeing it, right?
No, I'm not seeing it. Read it out for me, please.
Let me read it out. So one of our followers got this question, which was, if your supervisor or manager screws up and the team doesn't get paid, how does this impact the team?
Actually, and yeah, how does it impact your rep? Now, let's add a little bit more context there too. This person is in the financial services sector, one.
Yes.
So they are all about commission, two. And of course, you know, and we know that when you're working on solely commissions, how important it is to make sure that we have all of our T's and I's dotted, crossed and dotted, so that the person could receive commissions. Now, this for me is close because I've had instances, one as a manager and two as a person with very unclear commission structures or very unclear processes that helps people achieve their commissions properly. Right. And I'll go from the standpoint of the sales manager, from the salesperson first. Anytime you're dealing with things when it comes to where your money is concerned, it is a big issue because at the end of the day, I'm doing this thing to get paid. I ain't just doing it for the company. You understand?
Exactly.
And what I have seen as a manager, right, is that it totally, especially if it's an ongoing thing, it begins to deflate.
That's the point. That's the point I want to bring up. So I hope the person to answer this question are online, because
it begins to deflate that drive, that trust in the salesperson, especially if it is that they are doing well. Now there's some other factors to that as in there too, but I will go into that a little bit after as to how it also affects the team.
Yeah, so that was my point, right? And so, and anybody who's this has ever experienced this, let us know. But that was my point. If it happened once, okay. But if this is an ongoing thing with the manager, I would be upset because it doesn't matter. It will always demotivate any team because one, whether it is the manager might be incompetent and it's just through their fault that it's happening, I'll be upset. If the manager is vindictive and they do it on purpose, I would be even more upset. So, Shan is getting the echo now. I don't know why.
Pardon?
Shan is getting the echo now, but let us know how bad. I'm seeing Maria Warner. Hi, Maria, my darling. She's saying
Maria.
Processes is the buzzword.
Yeah.
Now, these days, yep.
The problem in this scenario, because I have some visibility into it. Well, not visibility, some awareness of it. It is a process issue. And most instances, when it comes to people's commissions, there's something with the process. The other thing is, So let's go back to first thing first, rule 101 when it comes to people's commission. Make sure that your commission structure is really clear for a sales rep to understand how they're getting paid, how they get in, how much they get in, when it's coming to them, what it is that they need to do. Because anything else outside of that, and you start to get ambiguity, is a big issue, right? What also happens there too is that based upon how influential that salesperson is, it will start eroding the trust. So like that salesperson, if he or she starts speaking to other salespeople, because that's what happens, right? Especially based upon where they are in their organization, they would always express it, right? And if it would have happened to them from before, hey Curtis, what's happening? Hey Andrew, how are you doing? If it would have happened to the other people from before, you will tend to find that they are now becoming aware of what that is. And you will tend to find the team also now having because the team is now gaining strength in numbers, right? So you will tend to find that that's coming up now as a sales manager. The sales manager, you have to address that. Yes. Even if it's outside of your scope. When I say outside of your scope, let's say, for instance, there's something that's happening in finance that's affecting your people from getting paid. You gotta raise hell. Let me know. So you gotta say finance, okay, tell me what my team needs to be doing because my guys can't be going out there and not making money. Oh well, no, making money but not getting paid for it.
Exactly, you know? And it's a lot, and especially given the nature of this industry, it's a lot of work that they go through from the prospecting to the convincing to the onboarding to the paperwork. So I think for anybody who's in this, you would be really, really demotivated if this is something that's reoccurring because, and I think what might be more frustrating as a sales professional, if you're very number centric, as in you know exactly how much you're getting paid, and that is always fluctuating and throwing you off, that is going to get you upset. So I think the big underlying factor behind this is that, like, and I know the fact that they brought it up means that a lot of persons are getting demotivated by this. And that's definitely how you don't want to end your year, simply because in financial and insurance, lots of them do a lot of their business in the month of December.
Yeah, look at real estate too, right? Real estate is another one. That's another industry that's all commission based. So you can't afford to have ambiguity in there. But even if how you're getting paid is not ambiguous, but if the process is bad, that makes it worse because it means I did all of my work. Now this now goes back onto the sales manager playing their role. I may have shared a story with you guys one time where I had a sales rep. Man, the guy ripped me to pieces because of the fact that he missed his target by 2%, right?
Ooh.
The thing is too, though, I also had that same person jump on my back because of the fact that there was an issue with how the new commission structure was affecting him from getting paid.
Yeah.
You understand? And what happened is that before he got back to, going out to be, how should I say, before he got back into that mode of being that go-getter and driving, for him, he didn't sell anything unless he was sure he understood how he was getting paid. So it took me a lot to show him, okay, well, this is what you have to do. And of course, I had to go through all of the justifications and the why. It was not really my decision, but management made the decision and they said, this is what the new commission structure is going to be. So I have to just pass it down. At the end of the day, though, clarity on how you're going to go about getting paid, because it will affect your team and it will affect some of your top performing salespeople.
Not only about getting paid, the timeline I think here is important because that day I think is ridiculous, and not only timeline for the employee to expect the money, but the KPI should be there for the manager that they have to get the things needed sorted out in order for the employee to get paid. And in a lot of cases, the manager is incentivized on this work. And I think it's just bringing up a good point here. I can't tell anything. I can't tell if I'm chasing after payment for work already done.
Yeah, because you're spending time trying to get your money from your organization.
You're spending money on you're spending resources that you don't have.
And exactly. And here's the other thing too, right? How can I go about selling if the same money that I need is what is required for me to go and sell? I have to put gas in the car, so
you have to reinvest a portion.
So yeah, see, when it comes, and this is a big part on the side of management, and it's something that I know Beverly Thompson speaks on a lot when it comes to commissions.
Shout out to
Um,
Bev. Spoke to her this morning.
yeah, because commissions is a really, really big part. It's a big incentive, money. You
But
know,
it's not a big incentive. It's the main incentive.
it's
It
the
have
main
nothing.
incentive.
Sales
Yeah,
reps not doing it for a pat on their
you're
back.
not doing it
They're
for
doing
free.
it for money.
Yeah,
Like
you're doing
at
it to
the
get
end of
paid.
the day, it's for money. It's done through helping customers, but every sales professional knows we doing this for money.
You're
This
doing
is
it for
what it
money.
is at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And if I'm anything is there, I think what hurts too, which is why they motivate you. You see, especially if you now find your rhythm in an organization and you're selling and things just picking up pace, and every time you just getting excited, and then month after month somebody's screwing up how much you get paid. Eventually,
yeah.
after a while, that momentum that you gained is going
You're
to
gonna lose it.
disappear. It's
Yeah.
going to drop fall immediately. It's not even steadily going to decline. It's just going to drop fall immediately back to what it was, or even worse, before you start to
Was
decline. And I think that's what it's like if you fall over a cliff. It's
hmm
like straight over a precipice. And I think that is what is the motivating a lot of people out there right now. So it doesn't
yeah,
only apply to insurance. Um you and I have seen businesses where people get demotivated simply because of that.
yeah,
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 once increased motivation once processes are clearly defined. Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
I
seeing
can tell you, I have been part of a commission structure change, Brett, and it was really hard because and while the organization had some valid reasons as to why they needed to change the commission. Um, Again, the approach in terms of how you make that really clear for the company, oh sorry, for your sales team as to okay, this is why we're changing it. And by extension, this is why we're changing it. This is what the new one is going to be, and this is how you're going to go about achieving that. So, like, I had to figure out the structure and the strategy with the team to show the guys how you listen. The thing is that the commission structure changed, and there were still ways that we could have done well enough for them to start regaining some of the salary, the commission, you know. And in many instances, it was just a matter of maybe selling one more item or one more device because they were now being paid on gross profit as opposed to revenue, which again, too, is a big mistake that some people make, but that's a different topic, right? But at the end of the day, boy, JB, the approach as to how you start distributing the information about that change as to what your process is a big problem. Because if it's already implemented, is one thing. If you're changing it now, that's something totally different.
I think if you're a manager, I'll put it to you this way, and Curtis is saying something here which I find interesting, which is how about getting bigger commissions delayed as a rule. I know that happens in certain companies because sad enough, there are a lot of people, especially if they're in non-sales role or even sometimes their very own manager. Like I once heard a manager said this openly in like a management meeting. He's like, I can't be signing off on checks that are more than what my
What am I?
salary
Yeah,
is.
but yeah,
And
but
that is the stupidest statement I've
yeah,
ever heard.
because that is a yeah, that's a bad sign of envy, man.
That's
My role is
that
I
when you don't understand your role as a
exactly.
actually here's the truth. If you're a manager looking at this, here's an honest truth. You would never make more money than your sales team. When you're if
Exactly.
you especially if you came from a sales role and you were top performing and you go into management, you will automatically make less money. That is a harsh truth. And you
Yeah.
if you accept the role, you cannot be upset if the sales reps are making more money. That is the nature of sales.
Upstairs.
Hey, Danny Powder, Alia Blue. That's the nature of sales. That's what it is.
And the thing is to push you have to push your team towards earning more. Let them
Yeah.
earn more than you because it's beneficial to them.
Woo.
You can't be counting their dollars. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I think
You
this
can't
is
be doing that. You can't be doing that.
I'm shocked. Actually, I can't say I'm shocked because it's 2020. Everything else is so crazy, but it's sad to see that this is still happening. And for those of you who are joining, the topic we're talking about is that we got a question from two of our colleagues who are saying, what do you do if your sales manager or sales supervisor is sabotaging or if they're messing up and ruining you receiving their commissions? And we all know in sales, commissions is what we live on. Commissions is what we do the job for. So from an overall standpoint, that demotivating factor is really, really hard. So then what do you recommend as some of the things? So my first thing I would recommend is, of course, have you spoken to your manager? Is this open and documented about your disapproval of the late fee process? And I'm sure you're going to be victimized if it is that you do bring it up.
Mhm.
but you have to have it documented.
Yes, you have to have it documented. I agree with that.
Right? I literally have no other idea in terms of what to
Yeah,
do, because
you
I
have
would
to.
honestly be pissed if I know I'm collecting 20 grand or 30 grand in commission, and you purposely or just through not caring, which is even worse, make sure that I probably only get 12. I am going to be highly irritated.
Yeah, yeah. You see, once that trust factor is broken, Brett, it's hard. And you're right. The only thing I could think of is raising it. You don't have to raise it with your manager directly. If you think your manager is part of your problem, so
Yeah.
you can raise it with HR or whoever is in charge, whoever is above your manager. Um, but yeah, you have to raise it, and yeah, unfortunately, too, you have to also be very good at counting your chips to make sure
Yeah.
that you are calculating accurately what you're supposed to receive. Um, because as I say, it's what we work so hard for in sales, and we can't be
Yep.
working hard and just allowing the process, especially from people who are getting a fixed salary. So all of these sales support folks,
Your
right?
sales
Or
guaranteed.
some of
Your
these people
salary
who are
guaranteed.
yeah, or some of them benefiting from my hard work. You understand? But you lollygagging on giving me my commission. So um,
And
it, it really comes down to you raising. There's something that I learned from Stephen Jutarami. You know that dude?
yeah, yeah.
He says he always said to me, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Right? Hi Olivia, what's up? And with that being said, he would always say, you have to make a loud noise about it, or you have to tell people about it, or you have to bring it into the light so that it will become it will get addressed. They can't stay quiet, and so you would always say, Lyndon, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and that's kind of how I learned to play politics on the management level sometimes. So
Yeah,
for your team.
but the thing is, what I find interesting when this tactic is used, or if people experience this in a company, the reason why I could tell you this is dumb is because if you continue this practice, what you're actually doing is always affecting your sales numbers. If you're ever trying to question it, because my thing is, if I'm a sales rep, right, and the thing is, if this is a pattern, and Curtis mentioned it here, number one, I'm not bringing in big deals,
No.
because I will get paid later. I would only bring in a big deal if I've already hit a certain commission level. And even then, the rep isn't going to bring in more business for you, simply because he knows that after a certain cap is reached, they stop getting paid on that.
Yeah.
Because there will be some sabotage or some delay on the back end. That is
Oh,
going to ruin your sales numbers.
yeah. That's another sales no. Even though it wasn't part of this thing, they'll be capping commissions.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a dumb thing,
it's
boy.
ridiculous. They're capping commissions.
Shout out to Shazad. Shazad got commission on captures back in digital
Right.
days. So Shazad was the main reason, but
Yeah.
cap commission is a dumb thing. It's dumb,
Yeah, it's rubbish.
right?
Here's oh gosh. The thing with that is like what I saw happening to me. Well, as a manager, when they implemented the new thing, is that the team got creative and they only started to sell enough. They only started to sell enough to make sure that they got the commissions
Yep.
to push things through. So
Yep.
they weren't even maximizing their potential, and they would be holding back deals for the next month and that kind of stuff because again they want to make sure that nobody's going to kind of railroad them or forget or whatever it was. Um, but as I say again, yeah, trust. When that trust is broken, or when people feel slighted, or if they figure that you're moving the goalposts for them as it relates to their how they're getting paid, yeah, that's going to totally affect your team
And
in a big way.
I won't go into the detail because I know information with some of my clients, but I can tell you there are people right now who are suffering with their sales numbers, and that is simply because this same question that you're seeing being asked is what has been done in the organization. And then in addition to everything else that probably might not be working how it should be, things like that are literally like crippling.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I
So
mean, because how could other things outside of getting commission be bad? And then when I do sell something, I catch them a tail to getting money too. Oh, gosh.
listen,
That way.
is me and tell it is make it worse. And then some companies look around and ask, well, we're trying to get sales numbers. But when you dig down deep enough, you'll be like, but you are the one who's self-sabotaging your own
Yeah.
numbers. It's not the market, it's not your reps, it's literally
Yeah.
you and management and high up. So my thing is it let's
You know,
it sucks. I don't even know how to tell people to deal with this.
uh,
I could just tell you it sucks.
No, this is all about management. There's only so much that you and I can give as advice. This is not advice for the sales rep. This is advice for senior executives.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. You may have heard me say this before. I've had senior people who were top sellers come to me and say, Lyndon, it is easier to sell the equipment than to get them delivered in time to the customer, get documentation circulated internally on time, and then get paid for it. So it was easier to get to get the customer to commit to purchasing, but it was hard to get all the other stuff done on time, and by extension that affects your commission. Yeah. As we've learned over these last couple of years, Jared, is no always the salespeople, right?
Yeah, I honestly feel sorry for anybody going through this right now. That is the worst thing you want to go through.
Kyle,
hey
what's
boy,
up?
man like Kyle Awong, boy, graphics man extraordinaire.
Yeah, so it's a touchy topic, but it's not a topic that we may have answers for. The most that we could do is really encourage team leads. One, as if you're a team leader or sales manager, look out for your team, right? You're supposed to know.
If your team know you have their back, they're fighting
They
for
will
you.
support you. Yeah, they'll push.
Like,
now they are in a ticklish position too, right? Because you had to support the company and you had to support the team. Honestly, Breds, I always leverage more on my team because once the team was happy, I always got their support. They always trusted me in terms of going out and doing certain things. However, I had to make sure that the things I would say, okay, Jared, you're raising this to me, I will make sure I get it sorted out within, and I give you a time frame. But I keep you up to date as to what's happening. Even if I am not getting anywhere, even if I get it pushed back, I will say, excuse me, I will say to you, all right, JB, here's what. I've brought this forward. Nothing has come up so far. So I'm hoping to get some response on it. But you see the communication in between your team, that has to be open, and your team has to know that you have their back. And also you have to be transparent and honest enough to say, guys, here's what. The thing that we're asking for, it really and truly, I could agree with the company in this regard. You can't always just be on the side of the thing. And you have to show them why too, because again, you have to be balanced. But you have to be there for your team.
Yeah, and the last point I would always mention, and when you know you would have that impact, like I always remember, I think this was after you left Digicel, Lyndon, because this would have been with Minish, when Minish was in charge of us. That was after you, right? Right. Yeah. And I remember Minish, like I always give people this example. There could be a meteor coming to Earth, you would not know, but Minish would invoke some kind of calm urgency in you that you understand what to do with regards to getting your numbers. He was one person literally fought to make sure that everybody, if you were performing, he would make sure that you could do your best possible. He was 100% fair. And the thing is, the reason why I bring up that is that the team's performance at that time was huge in terms of growth. It wasn't like everybody, of course, because they'd have a 100% perfect performing team. But he made sure and created and developed so many people in that organization. And it was true leadership, because at the end of the day, if you know your manager have your back, you pushing hard. You working the extra hours, you getting the extra sales, you prospecting, you making the cold calls, you going out there and getting the job done, you're bringing in the big deals, because as big as the deal is, your man, like I remember I closed a big deal. This was Chogam, because we had supply devices for the officers in Chogam. And even though I made an error in it, like a bad error, it didn't cost too much. I made a bad error. I forgot to send a notification to turn something off.
Woo.
And I didn't send the message after to turn the CUG off. So it stayed on for extra 24 hours. But Minish, Minish was so good, he gave you the disappointed dad look. It wasn't even a buff, he gave you the disappointed dad look. It was that bad. And but at the same time, he made sure I still got paid commission, because the commission and it was huge. So and it was a customized commission just to make sure that it was fair. But at the end of the day, you would continuously work hard, because you know your manager have your back no matter what. Big deals, small deals, your manager is there. So I feel it for those who are experiencing it right now. I literally cannot tell you what to do to overcome it, except to raise your voice and document it at every turn.
That's correct.
Document in detail. Every single time it happens, document it.
Yep, I agree with that as well.
So hope that information helps. Hope some of our experiences and stuff helps. And I'm wishing you the best 2 weeks ever, because I know for a lot of persons in financial right now, you are finishing the year strong. Because I know I've heard in some cases insurance professionals do like 40% of their yearly sales in December alone.
Oh, wow.
So wishing everybody a fantastic December. And Christmas is next week, which means we have a couple more days left.
Yeah.
We do not
Yeah.
next week Wednesday. We do not Christmas show. I have my Christmas hat, where my hat?
Yeah, we can do a Christmas show. Yeah, we can do a Christmas show next week, Wednesday one. Just to tell
My
everybody
hat.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, my hat's in the car. I'll have to bring that for the next show.
All right.
All right. Thanks everybody
All right,
for joining. Look out for stuff. We haven't we gotta talk some things for 2021 for sales as a profession.
Yes, we do.
You thought we wasn't coming next year? We come in. We there. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
All right, folks. Peace.